Welcome, my dear friends. Myself, Professor Dr. Rajendra Raghuveer Deshpande from Pune, Maharashtra State, would like to welcome you all in the class of Prasuti Tantra and Stri roga. So, why you are taking, sir, Prasuti Tantra first? It should be first lady and then her delivery. Actually, this should be the pattern. The female or the female gender or the gynecological things that we should understand first, and then we should go for the pregnancy. But I am very sorry to say, as per your syllabus, paper one, try to understand, paper one is of Prasuti Tantra. Actually, I was also surprised when I see that particular syllabus. Actually, according to my personal opinion, striroga Vidyan should be the first part, and second part should be the Prasuti Tantra Vidyan. But it is like that. In your syllabus, first paper is of Prasuti Tantra, and second paper is regarding the striroga Vidyan. Okay, and that means in the English also we say gynecology and obstetrics. Am I right? Gynecology and obstetrics. But here there is a reverse, obstetrics and gynecology. I don't know when this particular syllabus making people will understand my personal opinion and which is logical thing. But anyway, we should not go with that particular naming. Whatever we understand is first paper is of Prasuti Tantra regarding the pregnancy, regarding the conception, regarding the delivery, regarding the fetus, preterm, ANC, antenatal checkup, postnatal, that is after delivery. All these things we have to see in the first paper. Now today, we will talk about 3 or 4 important points. Kindly open your notebook, all the students, and they should write down serial number. I think this may be the 4th lecture regarding the class, regarding the classes of Prasuti Tantra and Stri roga. Today is the 26th of October 2023. Then put the topics. Now I am going to tell you the topics slowly and steadily. Okay. So first topic of today is Panchabhautikatva of Garbha. This has already been asked in the MUHS examination. This question is important. Garbha se Panchabhautikatva likhiye. So Panchabhautikatva of Garbha. You know the 5 basic elements exist everywhere in the universe, in the nature, in the human being. Prithvi, Aap, Teja, Vayu, and Akash. 5. Prithvi, Earth. Prithvi, if you want, you can write down Prithvi. Aap, water. Prithvi, Aap, Teja, fire. Vayu, air. And Akash, space, hollow space. Prithvi, Aap, Teja, Vayu, and Akash, these are the 5 basic elements or Panchabhauta. In the Kriya Sharir also we learn about all these things. Why these are called as a Bhuta? It is nothing to do with the ghost. Bhuta, the original word is Bhu Bhavati, to exist. These 5 elements were exist in the past, they are exist in the present, and they will exist in the future. So they are eternal. They are composing the whole universe and also the human being. Sarvam idam Panchabhautikam asmin arthe. This is the principle, Ayurvedic Siddhanta, basic principle that we have studied in the Kriya Sharir. Now we will talk about Panchabhautikatva of Garbha, that is fetus, intrauterine, baby. Okay. This is the first topic of today. Then we will see about, can you write down please? Can you see here? Garbhasthiti, this word, can you see? You can write down this word. Garbhasthiti, position. Garbha means fetus in the uterus. Sthiti, how it is lying down over there. Intrauterine position of the fetus. Please write down these words. Intrauterine position of the fetus inside the uterus. That is also called as attitude. This will be also asked in the examination. Likhata, describe the Garbhasthiti or intrauterine position of the fetus. This is the question asked many times. Now, next, last topic of today, of course, all the topics are big. This is a Garbha Poshan, third topic of today. Garbha Poshan, how the mother is giving nourishment, food, mammam, to the fetus, intrauterine baby. Garbha Poshan, nourishment. So these are the 3 important topics that we are going to learn today. Okay, let us start one by one. I will mark that particular point and we will try to discuss something. Okay, here is the first para. Okay, in spite of that, can I make like this? Like one, this is better, no? This is better. Yes, zoom. Okay, Panchabhautikatva of Garbha, specific functions of Panchamabhuta. My cursor will be there. So I have already mentioned Prithvi, Jala, can you see? Teja, Vayu and Akash. What they are doing? Vayur Vibhajati, separation of the cells. Separation, Vibhajana, separation. Teja Enam Pachati. That means metabolic process in the fetus. Teja Enam Pachati. Teja Mahabhut, Agni, fire. Apaha Kledayanti, moisture, secretions, formation of the different cells. That is cytoplasm, cell, all these things, fluids. Ap Kledayanti. Prithvi Samhanti, give some solid structures in the fetus, like bones, for example. They are very solid. Prithvi Samhati. Akasham Vivardhyati. Hollow channels, Srotasa, the channels will be developed, and then one hand will come, this hand will come, this head will come, abdomen will come, legs will go. So this is a separation and making the space for the different organs that will be done by Akasha Mahabhut. Okay, let us see. Vayu is for division, Teja is for metabolic processes, Ap is for secretions and moisture, Prithvi is for solid parts, and Akash increases the size of the fetus. Length, breadth, weight will gradually increase because there more and more and more space will be developed, different organs will be developed. Okay, Vayu is responsible for the division of dosha, dhatu and mala, and all major and minor parts of the body. They are because of the division of the cells. Okay, Teja Mahabhuta features, it is responsible for color of the fetus, complexion of the skin due to its metabolic function. Now, all the metabolic processes. Ap, Jala Mahabhuta, moisten some secretions, moisture will be there, therefore counteracts the dryness caused by the Vayu and Tej. So this is called an opposite property. Vayu, Tej, dry, dry, dry. But Ap, Snigdha, Anchas. So both the properties are opposite. Somebody should be there to control the dryness. Simple example, when we drive the vehicle, my scooter, my Platina, my Bullet, so that engine is moving all the time. You agree for that, okay? We are raising our accelerators, we push our brakes. So all these are the movements. But whenever there is movement, whenever there is a friction, there is a dryness. And what we do? What we do? We put the over oiling in the garage. You know, we put our vehicle to the servicing. And what that servicing people do? They put some oil in the clutches, in the liners, in the brakes, in the accelerators. There may be some water also, coolant in the car coolant. That is opposite. Dryness, heat, and opposite is the unctuousness with the Ap. Prithvi is for stability of shape of the embryo. Typical shape is because of the Prithvi Mahabhut. Akasha increases the size of the Srotasa and created by division of Vayu along with the Agni. So I think you have understood in short the different things. Now, Bhautika components of Garbha, which parts, which elements are formed by which Mahabhuta. Each and every body parts is Panchabhautikatva. My eyes are Panchabhautika, my hands Panchabhautik, my teeth Panchabhautik. But there is one predominance of majority of some particular Mahabhuta. But the Bhutas reflect the relative predominance. Relative predominance. This is very important. In Ayurveda, it is called as a Vyapadeshastu Bhuyasa. 3 times. I will say 3 times. Write down. Vyapadeshastu Bhuyasa. Devanagari script. V-Y-A-P-A. Vyapadeshastu. D-E-S-H. Deshastu Bhuyasa. B-H-U. Y-A-S-A. Bhuyasa. Vyapadeshastu Bhuyasa. Vyapadeshastu bhuyasa. Vyapadeshastu bhuyasa. What it means? Comparatively predominant. For example, my bones, parthiva. Am I right? But there is not only Prithvi. No. Bones is having Prithvi, Jala, Tej, Vayu, Akash, everything. But 98% Prithvi. So that is called as a predominance. Do you understand? Predominance of that particular Mahabhuta, that is Vyapadeshastu Bhuyasa. Next, Akashi Ang Avayav, which are the hollow things. For example, Vata dosh is predominantly of Akash Mahabhut, Vayu plus Akash. Sattva Guna is Akash Mahabhut, Buddhi is Akash Mahabhut, Laghuta will be there, Sukshmata will be there. And the main things responsible with the Akash is a Shabda. Whatever we speak, whatever we hear is because of the Akash Mahabhut, Shabda, auditory pathway. Unless and until there is hollow space, you cannot make the sound like a drum. Inside the drum, there is a hollow space. Okay, that is Shabda. So, Karna, ears are basically predominance. Akash Mahabhut. Srotasa, hollow channels. Mukha, oral cavity. Kantha, trachea, esophagus, windpipe, all are hollow. So, Akash Mahabhut. And Koshtha, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, hollow space is there. Do you understand? So, all hollow is Akash. Next is a Vayaviya Ang Avayava, which are the Vayu predominance. First, of course, Vata dosha, Rajoguna. Rajo is always active. Sattva is a very stable. Raja is very active, hyperactive. And Tama, depression, sadness, without any knowledge, that is Tamoguna, Alasya. Okay. So here, Vayavi is Rajoguna, Bhaya, fear, Kama, excessive graviness, greediness, Kama. Then Kharata, dryness, Rukshata, Utsaha is also depends on the Vayu Mahabhut. Unless and until you have the sensory and motor organs very active, you cannot have the energetic. So I am energetic because I am having good Vayu Mahabhuta, good Vayaviya Mahabhuta inside me. Okay. Chalata, movement. Then Cheshta. Cheshta is activities. Gati, heart sounds, lung sounds, peristaltic movements, everything Vayu Mahabhuta. Sparsha. Skin is Vayu Mahabhuta predominance. Tvak, skin. Nishvasa and Uchvasa. Heart and lung activities, lap, dap, Vayu Mahabhuta. And that is, what is that? Chakra. What is that? Chankramandi. That is a movement, Chakramandi. Okay. Then Agneya, fire. Fire. That is because of the Pitta dosha. Sattva and Rajoguna is having Agneya, Krodh, anger. I will kill you. That can come because of the fire only. Ushnata, hot. Your all the metabolic process, maybe primary metabolism, धातु स्तर के ऊपर होने वाला पचन हो, tissue metabolism, primary digestion. Whenever you think of metabolism, protein metabolism, carbohydrate metabolism, fat metabolism, everything Agneya Mahabhuta. Okay. Then Pachana, Prakash, light. Light is always with the fire. Rupa, eyes. Eyes are Teja Mahabhuta predominance. Akshi and Varna. Varna is a color and complexion. Next, we will go further. Now we will talk about the remaining things. Jaliya Anga Avayava and Parthiva Anga Avayava. Jaliya, water components. For example, Pitta and Kapha dosha. Do you remember the qualities of Pitta? Pittam Sasneha Tikshnoshnam Laghu Vistram Saram Dravam. In Pitta, there is little bit Dravata. Don't forget it. And Kapha dosha, Snigdaha Shito Gururmandha Shakshna Sandra Mudusthiraha. But in Kapha dosha, there is also Klisha Alingane. That is a watery part. Because of the water, there is a unity, stability is there. Sattva and Tamogun is Jaliya Mahabhut. Sheeta, Thanda, Thanda, Cool, Cool. Drava, Manda. Pichila, Slimy, Slimy. Slimy. Marathi मध्ये आम्ही जरा चिकट चिकट म्हणतो. Fevicol. Fevicol. Okay. Rasa dhatu is predominant of Jaliya Mahabhut. Jihva, est, always with the water. Udak is a water. Clay, the liquid waste product developed during the tissue metabolism. धातु पचन के वक्त निर्माण होने वाला जो मॉइस्चर है उसको आयुर्वेद ने क्लेद कहा है. मूत्रस्य क्लेद वाहनम. डू यू रिमेंबर दैट? मूत्रस्य क्लेद वाहनम. स्वेदस्य क्लेद विधृति. टू मेंटेन द स्वेट is responsible. Svedasya क्लेद विधृति. Hair follicle, they are maintained. Skin smoothness is maintained by the swed. Okay. Then rasa, always with fluid. Rakta, having the plasma. Mouse dhatu is also having some kapha element or jali element. Shukra dhatu, yes, of course, it is a soft. Vasa, it's fat. And mudra, these are all having kapha relation and jala relation, water. Then prithvi, solid, stability. Kapha dosh is always sthira, stable. Then tamo guna. Tamo here, it is not always a negative. Huh? Remember one thing. In our any activity, we need the sattva, raja and tama. Sattva is a creation, thinking of creation, the basic blueprint. Raja is implementation, whatever in our ideas are. And tamogun is controlling that activity. So tamogun is not always negative. Never, never. Tamogun is always helpful for creative purpose. How I am telling you? For example, if I want to develop this pen, so some scientist has some idea that I will take some plastic, this much length, and this I will make another plastic, this color, I will make a color, inside I will put that ink, etc. So this thinking is a sattva. Then in the industry, then in the factory, the workers will bring that big sheets of the plastic, they will cut it in that particular shape, make it a color, then put it inside. So these all activities are like a raja. But when they cut, for example here, they know that this particular 3 centimeter I should take only the white part. So there they should stop. That controlling that particular activity whatsoever is called as a tamo activity. I hope that idea is a sattva, activity starting is a raja, and making a particular thing at that stop, that is called as a tama. Okay. So sattva, raja, tama can be considered as a positive, but raja and tama sometimes they get abnormality, and that is why they are called as a mano dosha. Sattva is always guna. Sattva will not disturb. But raja and tama can be excess sometime beyond crossing their limits. That is called as a pathological. So raja tama can be physiological. Raja tama can be pathological. Physiological and pathological. Okay. So Prithvi Mahabhut, Tamoguna, positively. Guru, heavy. Sthira and Kathina, hard. Hardness is their bone. Prithvi, bone. Gandha, smell, is because of the Prithvi Mahabhut. Nasa is Prithvi predominant. Vyapadeshas tubuyasa. Nakha, Prithvi, calcium, bones. Kesha, Smashru. All these are the Prithvi. Then Loma, body hair. Asthi, bones. Danta, teeth. Kandara, tendons. Peshi, that type of the muscles. Mouse and Purisha. Purisha, stools, defecation. So I think this is, you have understood what is the Panchabhautikatva of Garbha. These are the things you have to write in the examination. Now we will talk about the Garbhashayastha Garbhasthiti. This particular thing we will discuss. Intrauterine position. The fetus. What Charak is saying? Charak is saying Urdhva Shira. Vertex is directed upwards when it is lying in the uterus. Vertex is on the upside. Then Prishtha Vimukha. Prishtha, face is directed towards the maternal back. Face, just imagine the lady uterus and how that fetus is lying in that thing. Head is up, that face is towards the back of that mother, and Sankucha Anga Avayavaha, flexion, hands, and you take your knees near to your body. That is flexion of all body parts. It is not extended like this. It is flex. Can you see me? Flexion. This is the child inside the uterus. You can see the images on the Google images. Okay. According to Sushruta, all body parts are flexed, not only hands and legs, you see, even the back and all these things. Fetus looks towards the maternal face, like this, up, maternal face. These are the explanation by Charak and Sushruta. Now, actually, in today's era, in today's time, what are the scientific explanation about the fetal lie, position, presentation? We will see one by one. Lie. These are the important words. Please write down. Write down. Fetal lie. Fetal lie. Fetal lie. How it is there? Lie means relation between the long axis of the mother and the long axis of the fetus. My head to down, it is called as the long axis. This is a vertical axis, long axis. Now, type 3. First is a longitudinal or vertical. Long axis of the fetus corresponds to the long axis of the mother, the same, like this, okay? Then next is a transverse lie. This is a vertical lie, then transverse lie, and then oblique, like this, oblique lie. Long axis of the fetus is perpendicular to the long axis of the mother. So baby is lying this way, mother is standing like that, and fetus is like this. This is called the transverse. And oblique, long axis of the fetus crosses the maternal. Again, this is fetus, this is mother, this is fetus, huh? This is oblique lie. Can you understand? Oblique. Okay, this is called as a lie. Don't forget, 3 types of lie: vertical, transverse, or oblique. Next is a presentation. Okay, we will see what is presentation. Presentation is the part of the fetus which occupies the lower segment of the uterus or the birth canal or the maternal pelvis. When it is coming down, it is delivery through the normal delivery. I am not talking about abdominal cesarean section. Normal delivery, it is coming from the vagina. Okay, so that is why part of the fetus which occupies lower abdomen of the mother, which part will come over there? So there are 4 types of presentation. One is cephalic, second is a breech, then shoulder, and then compound. Don't forget these main things, because it will be asked in the oral also. Lie will be asked, presentation will be asked. Now we will see what is cephalic presentation, what is breech, what is shoulder, and what is compound. Next, we will go further. Step by step, we will not make any hurry, okay? So we will first only try to make a cephalic presentation for you, my dear friend. Okay, this is the commonest. Cephalic presentation is the commonest, 96.5%. Fetus head occupies the lower abdomen or lower part of the uterus of the mother. Depending on the degree of flexion or extension, cephalic presentation is classified. Again, it is classified vertex or brow or face. Head is there, it is okay, this whole part. But vertex, it is the quadrangular area bounded anteriorly by the bregma, this is anterior fontanelle, and coronal sutures posteriorly by the lambda, that is posterior fontanelle, and the lambdoid sutures, and laterally by the lines passing through the parietal eminences. So totally this part will be in the lower part of the uterus during the delivery, especially during the delivery. Now brow, it is an area bounded on one side by the bregma. Now these are all anatomical terms, my dear friends. So I will request, go to the Google images, please, please, please. This is homework for you. And you can just make the photographs. It is very easy to get. You can write down cephalic presentation of fetus. Then you can write down vertex cephalic presentation of the fetus. Then you write down brow cephalic presentation of the fetus. In that way, you can make the photographs, images, download it and send it to me, or put it in the comment box also. Okay. So area bounded on one side by bregma and the coronal sutures, and on the other side by the root of the nose and supraorbital ridges of both the sides. So this part will be in front at the opening of that vagina and uterus. That is not correct. Brow presentation is not abnormal. And face, it is an area bounded one side by the root of the nose and supraorbital ridges, these ones on the either side of the chin. So this if you see all these parts outside during the delivery, that means lower part of the uterus in the vagina, then that is also not good, that is abnormal. Only cephalic vertex. Cephalic vertex is a normal. Okay. Sometimes if I get this, what you can say, the presentations or the images, I will also share with you some with the WhatsApp. Now, breech. This is very rare. This is not common. Breech and shoulder are not common. Remember, these are abnormal, very rare. And delivery time, it's a problem. It's a problem. Doctor will have to struggle very ready with the nurses and all the staff, and because something may go wrong. Okay. So breech presentation 3%. The buttocks of the fetus. Remember, buttocks occupies the lower segment of the uterus. There are 4 types. Complete breech presentation, that means arms and legs are fully flexed. Incomplete, arms flexed, one leg flexed but one leg extended. Frank, legs are extended near the head, and footling, flexed and crossed legs. Feet are born first instead of pelvis. Very dangerous. It's not at all a nice delivery. Huh? This is not at all nice delivery. So breech presentation is not, it's a complicated thing. Then we will go shoulder, only 0.5%. Transverse lie, it is called as a transverse lie. Shoulders of the fetus here occupies the lower segment of the uterus. The shoulder does not actually occupy the lower segment of the uterus, but it is the closest structure, and it requires, can you read this? Very interesting. Normal delivery not possible. Please write down. In shoulder presentation, normal delivery not possible, because it is completely transverse, is not expected. Ideally, head should be there, head engagement, but then it has to be taken from the abdomen, which is called as a caesarean section. This operation is very important for the LAQ. They are asking you, please write down the important question with this topic. Of course, they will ask presentation, lie, this and that, but they are asking some operative procedures. One of the procedure is caesarean section. What is caesarean section? How it is done? When it is indicated? So this is one of the indication where normal delivery is not possible. One has to take the baby from the abdomen, cutting the abdomen. That is caesarean section. It is also called as a CS or C-section. Okay, we will go further. Now, this is compound presentation. Compound occurrence is very, very rare. 2 or more parts of the fetus occupy the lower segment of the uterus. Okay. Now, lie, presentation, and fetal part. Longitudinal lie, cephalic and breech presentation. Head is greater than normal buttocks. Transverse lie, shoulder presentation, and shoulder will be the fetal part. Okay. Now, the third topic of today that is most important is a Garbha Poshan. How the nourishment of the fetus takes place, my dear friends. How the nourishment, mammam, of the fetus totally depend on the mother. Totally depend. He cannot eat by himself. All the blood is coming through the mother, and through the blood of the mother, proteins are coming, carbohydrates are coming, fats are coming. There in between, which are the connections of the baby and the mother? 2 words you should not forget. 2 words. Very important. Please write down. Placenta, Placenta. Placenta is very important. And umbilical cord. Umbilical cord, by which the mother and the baby are connected. Placenta and umbilical cord, these are the 2 important structures. Once the Garbha is formed, the nourishment takes place through ahar rasa and that is of marut and vayu. Admana of marut and vayu, movement. Okay. The food taken by the mother, remember this thing, influence the physical and psychological constitution of the child. The food consumed by the mother is utilized for the following 3 purposes. What the food of the mother is doing? That's why during the pregnancy, mother should take care of eating properly. Ushnam ashniyat, snigdham ashniyat. Matravat ashnyat, na atidrutam, na ativilambitam, ajalpan, ahasan, tanmana bhunjit. This is the Ayurvedic shlok. Ahara, vidhi, vidhan. Common in every subject. In the Swastha Vritta, it will also come. In the pediatrics, Kaumara Vritta, it will be there. In the gynecology, it will be there. Ahar is everywhere. So, mother should take the freshly cooked homemade diet. Not too much spicy. No salt, no bitter, a little bit sweet. Milk is very essential. We have already seen that all the things. In the 9 months, which type of the milk she should take, with the ghee sometimes, with the honey sometimes. You remember those previous lectures. You can see those videos again. Okay. The purpose of the food of mother. Number one, nourishment of the baby. Formation of stanya. Breast milk after delivery. After delivery also, mother is taking the care of baby by providing the breast milk. And breast milk is from what she eats. Okay. Nourishment of Garbha by Kedar Kulya Nyay. You remember the Dhatu Poshana Nyay, first year BMS, Priya Sharira subject. There were 3 Nyayas, 3 methods of the metabolism are mentioned by Ayurveda. First is a Kedar Kulya Nyay. What is Kedar and Kulya? Kedar is a well and Kulya are the different tracts in the farm. शेतीमध्ये विहिरीतनं आलेलं पाणी मराठीमध्ये थोडंसं सांगतो आपल्याला. From the well, the water is taken and provided to the all farm FARM by the different channels. So Kulya are the channels and Kedar is a main bucket of main, what you can say, the storage of the water, that is well, WELL. Kedar Kulyanya explains the transport system for the Dhatu Poshan. Transport system. Write down Kedar Kulyanya transport system. What is next? Khale Kapot Nyaya. Khale Kapot Nyaya. Nyaya is a siddhant, it's like a principle, it's like a theory, Theory. Nyaya, theory. Khale kapot is like a pigeon. Khale, that particular area of the floor where the grains are being put and each bird is coming, taking the grain, fly away. Again, second bird comes, take the grain, fly away. So that is called as a selection. Kedar Kulyanyay, transport. Khale Kapotadnyay, selection of the grain, selection. For example, Rakta Vahasrotas, Rakta Dhatu will take up the iron. Mausa Vahasrotas, Mausa Dhatu will take the proteins. Asthi Vahasrotas, Asthi will take the calcium. So this selection of appropriate nutrients is Khale Kapotadnyay. So Kedara Kulyay, transport. Khale Kapota, selection. And last, Kshir Dadhi Nyaya. Kshir, milk. Dadhi, curd. So milk is converted step by step into the curd, into the buttermilk, into the butter. Are you getting my point? These are all milk products. Similarly, rasa is converted to rakta, rakta from mausa made. So conversion is there. Transformation is there. So conversion, transformation is indicated by Kshira, Dadhi, Nyaya. Nyaya is a theory. I hope all the Dhatu, Poshan and Nyaya I have explained within 5 minutes. This is the revision of Kriya Sharira subject, first year BMS. Okay, this is here. Kedar Kulya Nyaya, nourishment. Okay. Like umbilical cord and Srotasa, I will explain. The next they will come. Phases of Garbha Poshan. First is a Upa Sneha. That is nothing but the absorption of the nutrients from the plasma. Then Upasveda, that is post-implantation, and Nabhi Nadi, that is hematotrophic transfer. So there are post-fertilization, post-implantation, and hematotrophic transfer through the blood. So these are the phases in the Garbha Poshan. First during the immediate after forming the embryo, how the nourishment is going on with the upasnehan, just by membrane transport across the cell membrane. This topic was there also in the first year physiology, modern physiology. Do you remember that? Transport across the cell membrane, that is upasnehan. Then upasvedana is a post when from the fallopian tubes that particular embryo is coming in the uterus and it is implanted. Then that is another system of nourishment. And lastly, after third month, there is a Nabhi Nadi, umbilical cord is formed, and placenta, and everything goes on. Okay, we will see the details step by step. Don't worry, be happy. It's very easy. Be comfortable. When all the Shabdavaha are normal with appropriate diet and regimen of the mother, I'm sorry, here the word is a Shadbhava. All the Shadbhavas are normal with appropriate diet and regimen of the mother. The Garbha is nourished by rasa. You remember these Shadbhavas? Matruja, Pitruja, Satmeja, Aharaja, etc. Garbha Nirmana Kara Bhav. Okay? Garbha is nourished by rasa dhatu, which is derived by upasneha and upasveda. Just membrane crossing. There is no umbilical cord yet in the beginning, till the 3 months. The nourishment is through upasnehananyaya and upasvedananyaya. Okay? After the body parts are conspicuous, the nourishment occurs after, when the body parts of the fetus, baby, they develop. Then there is a umbilical cord or Nabhi Nadi. The fetal umbilicus is attached to the apara, that is placenta, by the Nabhi Nadi, and the apara is connected to the heart, that is Rudaya. Okay? The ahara rasa flows from the mother's Rudaya first to the apara, and from the apara to the Nabhi Nadi, and from Nabhi where it reaches the Pakvashaya, and ahara rasa is metabolized by the Kayagni of Garbha to provide the nourishment. I will read these lines, very important line. You can slowly make some points over there. First, ahara rasa, write down. Ahara rasa. Where it is? From mother's Hruday, aorta. Ahara rasa is coming through the blood. There is no separate. Sir, what is that? Ahara rasa is blood. Blood of the mother. In that blood there is ahara rasa. First nutritious part. Okay. So that ahara, according to Ayurvedic knowledge. But the modern knowledge, they are talking about blood in terms of blood. That is nothing but the same. Ahara rasa is coming through the blood from mother heart, from the mother's aorta, heart aorta. Okay. Where it is coming? From mother's Hruday to the apara. Where is apara? In the abdomen, in the uterus. That fetus is there, that apara is there. Okay. Then placenta. Apara is a placenta. Please write down. Apara is a placenta. Then from apara to the Nabhi Nadi, umbilical cord, which is attached to the, where it is attached? From placenta, umbilical cord is attached to the umbilicus of the fetus. Do you understand? Umbilical cord has one connection to the placenta and one connection to that fetus Nabhi. It is attached to the, and that umbilical cord is providing with arteries and veins are there inside the umbilical cord, and they are entering into the fetus. They are entering to the umbilical cord. Again, try to see. Here is a mother's heart. Okay, it is coming. It is everything is in the uterus going on. Everything is going in the uterus, and it is coming to the placenta. From placenta, it's coming to the umbilical cord, and umbilical cord is attached to the where umbilicus of the baby. And when it is enters that all the blood, it will come into the baby's body. And what they will do, I will show you afterwards. Okay. So then to the Nabhi where it reaches the Pakvashaya afterwards in the fetus. And ahara rasa is metabolized. That processing is done in the fetus also. Kayagni of Garbha to provide the nourishment to the baby. Since the rasa which is received is already the essence of ahara, that means mother has already taken the proteins, carbohydrate, fats, and she has prepared the ready-made food, ready-made ahara rasa for the baby. Okay, so there is an absence of mala. There is no waste part. and nourishment is utilized for the growth and development of dhatus of the baby. Are you getting my point? Okay, we will see. Next, we will go further. Now, here. Fetal nourishment phases. These three things, okay? You can write down these titles. First is absorption, that is, or post-fertilization. Second is histotrophic transfer or post-implantation. And last is hematotrophic. Please write down. I will wait. I will read. I will read for you once again, and you write down only this thing. Fetal nourishment. Please write down. Everybody who is looking at this particular video, everybody should write down fetal nourishment. 3 phases. Deshpande slowed down his speed. This is for your writing purpose. Write down. First is absorb. This, what is this slash? Slash is always or absorb. It can be called as a absorption phase or post-fertilization phase. You don't write down the description, only write down the points. Second, you write down histotrophic transfer or here or, not slash, or post-implantation. And third, hematotrophic. First, you complete the writing. I will wait, no problem. This is the lecture for your benefit. It is not to making fast videos and putting and uploading. No, you share this with all your friends, because every student should be get benefited by understanding. And Professor Deshpande is trying to give the best understanding. Okay, let us start to understand. After fertilization and before implantation, the zygote, this word is important, zygote, is nourished by cellular cytoplasm, yolk of ovum, and secretions in fallopian and uterine cavity. Fallopian tube, first zygote will be, actually it is not immediately coming in the uterus. These things you must remember. Now you try to understand sperms, when there is a sex, semen is ejaculated, where? In the vagina of the female. And that from the semen is having a lot of secretions and sperms. So lot of millions. What is the normal count? Normal count of sperms? Please write down. 80 to 120 millions per cubic mm. This much is the amount of the sperms created. So many of the thousands of sperms entering, but only one sperm is going to the fallopian tube. And there that ovum is coming and meeting. So spermatozoa and ovum are meeting in the fallopian tubes, not in the uterus, not in the fallopian tubes. First 5-6 days, they just stay over there. And then they go to their own place, that is the uterus. That is implantation. I think you are understanding the difference. So first we are talking about fallopian tube and how it is nourished, cellular cytoplasm, that zygote. It is not actually the baby, it is only zygote, union of the cell of spermatozoa and ovum. Now, there are also a lot of secretions in the fallopian tubes, uterine cavity. They are providing the food, mum, to that zygote, even it is not baby. Okay, histotrophic or post-implantation. After implantation and before formation of fully functional placenta, still placenta is not formed. Nutrition is derived from decidua, that is wall, decidua, and maternal, from mother, maternal pool of blood, flow of blood formed as a result of trophoblastic invasion. Okay, this is a multiplication of the cells. What is then hematotrophic? Trophic is always nourishment, trophic. After fetal circulation is established, this is a very interesting word. Please don't forget, because it is always asked as a separate question. It was there also in the anatomy, first year BMS. You just open your anatomy books and you will get it. fetal circulation. Very important. Very important, fetal circulation. Again, you take the Google images and please download interesting image of the fetal circulation. There you will get some figures. Okay. And around at 3 weeks, there is a passive transfer of substances in the intervillous spaces. Intervillous spaces. After fetal circulation is established, when it is happening? Around 3 weeks, nearly about 3 weeks. Okay. Now we will go further. Step by step. Okay. This much is okay for you. Okay. Now here you can see big table. Transport mechanism and substances transported across the placenta. Now the placenta has been there. Placenta is there. Simple diffusion. There are a lot of methods. Simple diffusion, facilitated diffusion, active transport, direct transport, pinocytosis, and leakage. If you want, you can write down the placenta, in the placenta, through the placenta. These are the methods. In the placenta, simple diffusion, very simple, here to here, from higher concentration to lower concentration. That is diffusion. Facilitated diffusion by giving push by some pump. Facilitated diffusion. Then active transport will require the mitochondria and energy to enter inside. Active transport always needs the energy. This is diffusion is a passive transport. Remember, active needs the mitochondria. Active transport needs the ATP, adenosine triphosphate energy molecules, and active transport may need some carrier protein. This you have already learned these all the topics. Transport across cell membrane in first year BMS in the Kriya Sharir modern physiology topics. So if you have my book of English, Kriya Sharir, that I have written, Kriya Sharir book with Dr. Ranade and Dr. Chobe madam, is available on the Amazon. Kriya Sharir part 1 and part 2. Fantastic books for the Kriya Sharir. There I have explained all these things. Then direct transfer, pinocytosis, and leakage. Now we will see simple diffusion. Molecules pass from a region of higher concentration, can you see, to the lower concentration. For example, O2, oxygen, carbon dioxide, CO2, water, and electrolytes, sodium and potassium. Facilitated diffusion, transport is quick because somebody is helping. Professor Deshpande is facilitating to the students. He is a facilitator, giving the helping hand to understanding purpose. Okay. So transport is quick. Natural sugars like glucose and vitamins, they are transported by facilitated diffusion. Active transport, energy is required. Anti-metabolites, inorganic ions, endogenous substances like amino acids, they are transported with energy, active transport. Direct transport from the cell membrane, like lipids, oils and ghee, fatty acids, calcium, phosphorus, iron, vitamin B and C, they are by direct transport. Pinocytosis, villi engulfs. Villi, you know where are the villi? In the small intestine, jejunum and ileum, there are villi. The tiny droplets of plasma and transports them to the fetus. Okay. For example, proteins are transported by this method. Leakage, for example, leaks from the endothelial lining of villi enter the fetal circulation. Example, maternal cells, then immunogens and albumin. This is by the leakage method. Okay, we will go further. Now, there is also one diagram, but we will try to see first the description and then we will try to see the diagram. Now, this is important, fetal circulation. But here I will tell you, don't take much tension, because in the first period, in the first reading, it is not possible to understand each and everything permanently. Because there are some terms which are, there are some concepts that we have to read again and again, again and again. Even you can take the now screenshots. You can record my dialogues, speech, okay? Fetal circulation is fully established in the 3rd week of the post-fertilization. That means whenever the male gamete and female gamete, when the pregnancy established by urine pregnancy test, UPT, after that, nearly about 1 month, this fetal circulation can be established. Okay, blood flows to and fro. To means towards the placenta and fro means from the placenta. Towards placenta, from the placenta. Towards placenta, from the placenta, via umbilical cord. Because there is a umbilical cord is inserted into the umbilicus of the baby. Okay, fetal deoxygenated blood, impure blood, flows to the placenta through the 2 umbilical arteries, which is inside the umbilical cord. That's what I have mentioned. Its cord is like a pipe, and in that umbilical cord there are arteries and veins. So 2 umbilical arteries, they carry the impure blood. Where to go? To the maternal oxygenated blood. Try to understand. Fetal deoxygenated blood flows to the placenta through 2 umbilical arteries, and maternal oxygenated blood flows from the placenta through the umbilical vein. Pure blood is coming from mother to the fetus, and impure blood is coming from fetus to mother to make it purify. Because the baby cannot make the purification of the blood. That will be done by the mother, ready-made purification. The umbilical veins carries the oxygenated blood to the liver and gives off. Now, this oxygenated blood is from mother to the fetus, that baby, and it is going to the liver. Liver of whom? Liver of baby, and gives off a branch proceeding as a ductus venosus. Now, these words are little bit hard to remember. Its connection, you have to repeatedly see the pictures, repeatedly try to understand the words, and then you will remember. Only in the this lecture, you will say that I will remember everything. No, not possible. You will have to see again and again that particular words and pictures. So, proceeding as a ductus venosus, which joins, now this is all in the baby, inferior vena cava, carrying the deoxygenated blood from the lower limbs. This is like a human. My body also, my impure blood is coming from the inferior vena cava. Okay, lower limbs and trunk to the right atrium. This you know very well. In the right atrium, the major part of the oxygenated blood is directed to the left atrium via the foramen oval. Now here, I will request all my students, please write down some keywords, please, because it has a significance even after delivery. So 2 words. First word you write down as a ductus venosus. Please write down ductus venosus. Say 3 times, ductus venosus, ductus venosus. And next here you can write down which one? I have foramen oval. Foramen oval. Foramen oval. Oval is a hole. Foramen is a hole. Foramen oval. From there, it passes to the left ventricle via mitral valve, mixed with small quantity of blood from pulmonary veins, and then towards the aorta to be carried to the carotid arteries and coronary. Coronary means heart circulation, and carotid means brain circulation. So, blood is going to the brain and blood is going to the heart in the fetus, in the baby. Now, we will see a small portion of, just wait. The next para. A small portion of the blood from inferior vena cava plus deoxygenated blood from the superior vena cava plus blood from the coronary sinus pass to the tricuspid valve to the right ventricle and then to the pulmonary trunk, which partially diverts to the lungs but mainly to the descending aorta by ductus arteriosus. This word is also important. Here you see the ductus venosus. Can you see here? Ductus venosus. And here you can see the ductus arteriosus. And this is pulmonary oval. We will see that, okay? Okay, where we are? Just a moment. Just please hold it. Okay. Thus, the mixed blood is distributed to the viscera and lower extremities and returns to the placenta via umbilical arteries. Okay. Now, we will see all these things in the picture. Can you see over here? I think this is a small letters, but we will try to see. Okay. What I was talking about, this is placenta here. Concentrate here, placenta. Can you see? Then from placenta, umbilical vein. Umbilical vein. This vein is in the umbilical cord. Do you understand what I am saying? This is all baby here. I see the cursor. This is this part. Otherwise, I will mark. This is all together related with the mainly with the baby. This part. Now this is here the placenta. You know, placenta is on the mother's side. Then from placenta there is a umbilical cord which is entering into the umbilicus of the fetus. In that umbilical cord is like a pipe. There are arteries and veins. There are arteries and veins. So this umbilical vein, although it is a vein, it is carrying the pure blood from the mother. Are you getting me? So now this pure blood is there. It is now some blood is going to the ductus venosus. This is a type of vein again, ductus venosus, and it is going to the right atrium because it is pure. Some blood is again going to the liver and from the hepatic vein to the inferior vena cava and again coming to the right atrium. Everything is coming to the right atrium. This is baby's heart, baby's heart, right atrium. From right atrium, usually in the human being, our adult, we go to the right ventricle. Am I right? And then from right ventricle, for the pulmonary circulation, for the lungs, where we get the O2. But here, there already this blood is pure. So right atrium directly to the left atrium. Shortcut. Shortcut. Remember, we have the 4 chambers. But here, it is bypassing this right ventricle or even lungs that is entering from foramen ovale to the left atrium directly. And this foramen ovale, immediately after birth, whenever the delivery is taking place, after first crying, this hole closes, stops, is stopped. Because this is not a normal in our adult. There is no hole in the right atrium and right ventricle. It is not possible. But as this is a pure blood, that right atrium directly providing blood to the left atrium. This point is very important to understand. Foramen ovale is only existing intrauterine life. Immediately after the delivery, foramen ovale closes. No connection in right atrium and right ventricle. The blood should come to the right ventricle, from right ventricle to the lungs for purification. From the lungs, it will come to the left atrium, and from left atrium, it will go to the left ventricle. This is in the adult, my and yours blood is like that. But here, as mother is giving ready-made pure blood, there is no necessary for this pulmonary circulation. Very less blood is going to the lungs. But basically, from foramen ovale, 80% blood is going to the left atrium, from left atrium to naturally left ventricle, and from left ventricle, very common, like aorta, biggest artery, and from aorta, it will go to the upper body parts like brain and heart and all these things. Some blood will also go to the descending part and also provide to the lower body and also from the iliac arteries and umbilical arteries. Are you getting my point? I think this is not so complicated. Only 2 or 3 things you have to remember. One, ductus venosus. This word is important because mother is giving that blood from placenta to the umbilical cord. Inside the umbilical cord, there is umbilical vein. From umbilical vein, it is going right atrium and direct. Foramen ovale, foramen ovale, foramen ovale. This word is important. And left atrium, left ventricle, aorta, here also. Ductus arteriosus. Ductus arteriosus. Because from aorta, it is a pure ductus arteriosus. I hope this is a fetal circulation, but you can draw yourself all this figure. Repeatedly remember these words, ductus venosus. This is also closed after delivery. Everything, ductus arteriosus, everything is merged into the different parts. But foramen ovale is closed. That hole will be closed after delivery. Okay. So my dear friend, this is all about the today's lecture. In this today's lecture, we have covered, once again repetition, fetal circulation. We will go revert back. We talked about the fetal nourishment. Then what we asked, Garbha Poshan, important questions for the examination. Then we talked about these terms. Which are these terms? Lie, presentation, attitude, and position. Lie, presentation, lie are three: vertical, transverse, and oblique. Presentation is cephalic, bridge, shoulder compound, but cephalic is common. All are abnormal. Okay. Then we also talked about today Panchabhautikatva of Garbha. My dear friends, as there is a time up, I will stop over here and we will meet on the Sunday for the Swasthvrutta lecture in the morning from 11:15 to 12:15, and the Charak Uttarardha lecture Sunday afternoon, that is 3 to 4 o'clock. I am very much thankful for your kind support and help and energy giving with me to enthusiasm that give us the knowledge in a simple language. That's why Professor Deshpande is trying level best to spend some time with the students and encourage them for their studies. Thank you very much. Take care and good night.